A few days ago, we left Page, Arizona, and drove through some amazing scenery on our way here to Capitol Reef National Park. We made a stopover in Monument Valley and Navajo National Monument there, and well, I'm going to show you some pictures with a little bit of music because video just couldn't capture it, but I think these photos will. On this trip, we were especially fortunate to be able to get a reservation here at the Capitol Reef National Park campground. Staying in a national park campground is especially wonderful. This campground, no, it does not have any hookups at the sites, but you don't need the hookups if you can stay for just a few days and you can live with the bathrooms that they've got here, or in our case, we have a fully contained RV. That's great, but you are right here in the midst of the park. You don't have to drive 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get to the park entrance and wait in line for the ability to get in. You're here. And the campgrounds are gorgeous wherever we have been. If you have the opportunity, definitely try to get a national park campground reservation. Now, it's really hard to get into the national parks, especially when you are not able to book a year ahead or 6 months ahead. But there are some programs out there. I'm not going to mention any of them in particular, but you can find them if you do a little Google search. Programs that will help you to get a notification when somebody cancels their reservation. And that's how we got our reservation here at Capitol Reef. And otherwise, we would be dry camping outside of the park, about 20-minute drive away from the entrance, and that would not have been nearly as wonderful as waking up to these sights of the mountains around us. We're about to get ready for a little trip through the park today and see some of the other beautiful things here at Capitol Reef. It is late April, and this would be considered shoulder season here and at any of these parks. But as you can see as we come around this corner, there are plenty of people here. At every trailhead, there are dozens of cars. So if you want to get up and do some hiking and get out here, you're going to need to get out here early if you want to make sure you even have a place to park. One of the reasons that people came to Capitol Reef originally was to mine some of the natural resources. And one of those natural resources was uranium. And you can see the remains of some of these uranium mines right here, closed off for obvious reasons. Of course, it's not being mined anymore because it's now a national park. Kathy, how's it feel driving this crazy road?
It's a little spooky, but it's fun. Some of the rocks look like they could fall at any moment.
I would say I am glad we are doing this in a Jeep, not a regular sedan. A lot of the roads not too bad, but there are some spots with some incredibly big holes in them. I was glad we had a high suspension. We've reached the end of the Capitol Gorge Road, and there's two trailheads here. One for the Petroglyph Narrows and the other for Frontier Register and Tanks. We are going to go for the Petroglyph Narrows. We are told it's a kind of a short trail. We're hoping it's not going to be too challenging, but see some of this ancient history of the park. Part of being human that's gone on for literally tens of thousands of years is the desire to say, I have been here, and leave marks for others. This is a national park. We shouldn't do that, but here's some marks left by some of the ancient pre-Christian era tribes that lived in this area. And in more modern times, the Golden Throne Trail, 2 miles with an elevation gain of 1,300 feet. Not going to do that one today. Now, if I were 20 years younger, no, I wouldn't have done it then either. Okay, I will confess, I got so excited about this that I actually started before I remembered to start the video. But one of the things that Capitol Reef National Park is famous for is the fruit pies from Fruta. We're in the Fruta campground. I always thought it was Fruita from the way it was spelled, but it's actually the Fruta campground. So we stopped at, what's the name of the place?
Gifford House.
Gifford House this morning and picked up a deep dish apple pie. Had to choose between that and peach and cherry. And that's what they're famous for, and it is delicious. Yummy. By the way, I want to give thanks to our friends at Less Junk, More Journey, because they were here a couple of years ago and we learned about the pie through one of their videos. Another nice thing about staying inside the national park is that after you've done some touring for the first part of the day, we just did the scenic drive and up through Capitol Gorge. Well, you can come back to your own RV. You got your food, your refrigerator, you got a place to sit down at a picnic table, enjoy a little time with the dog. And now, hey, we're off again. By the way, I wanted to tell you why this campground is called Fruta. And if you look, you can see these orchards full of fruit trees. When the Mormons settled here, they planted fruit orchards, which was a big part of how they sustained their lives in this valley, along with other things. Well, the Mormons are not here anymore, but the fruit trees remain. Some of them are 100 years old. And if you're here at the right time of year, you can actually pick and eat the fruit from the trees. They got cherries, they got apples, they got all kinds of good things. We just had some apple pie for lunch, and I have a feeling we're going to have to try one of the other ones too. Fruta Valley, Fruta Campground. Hey, Kathy, what did you find?
My absolute favorite flower, lilacs.
Lilacs. We had lilacs at our wedding in February. It was wonderful.
White lilacs, imported from Belgium.
That's a hummingbird moth. We're at Gooseneck Point, which is a short hike off of an unpaved road. At the bottom is Sulphur Creek, one of the waterways that goes through Capitol Reef. One interesting thing as we look down there is that the lowest level of rock visible here is the same rock that is at the very top layer of the Grand Canyon. So the Grand Canyon is much, much older.
And we went back to Gifford House the next morning, according to our plan, to get a cinnamon roll.
Hey, you gotta try it. There's another set of petroglyphs in the park. These are right off of Route 24 near the old schoolhouse, and they're farther away from you, but they are much, much clearer than the ones out on the trail. These petroglyphs were made by those whom modern archaeologists call the Fremont people, although the Hopi claim them as their ancestors, and they were made between 300 and 1300 AD. It's amazing to think that their artwork on the stone walls could last that long. Unfortunately, modern humans have also put some graffiti on here, and that's a shame because it can't be undone. So we're exploring the road going out of the park toward Hanksville, and this actually is a spot that starts to answer the question of why is this called Capitol Reef? And this is why. When the founders or the explorers came into this area, they saw this rock and they thought it looked like the Capitol Dome. And so they called it Capitol. Do you think it looks like the Capitol Dome? Now, the second part of this was that the entire canyon where the campground is and up through the scenic ride is very difficult to navigate, or it was at the time. And so the people who were doing that had been mariners before they came here, and it reminded them of the difficulty of marinating. Marinating? I will probably leave that in, but let's go. It reminded them of the difficulty of navigating a coral reef. So, capital Reef. We are now on the west side of the Water Pocket Fold. The peaks that you see behind me are where the ground was pushed up, but only on one side of the valley where the Fremont River runs now. And so this side is higher than the other side. It was a fold in the land, and there's water in the middle of it. But it was virtually impassable during pioneering era, because it's over 100 miles long and there was no way to get over it and down and then back up. You had to go around it until finally someone figured out, hey, let's make a settlement in it. Okay, you guys, we got to be honest with you. That's what we say we'll do. We actually went back a third time. Peach pie. How's it look?
Looks delicious.
All right.
Is it good?
It's really good. Do you think we could go back again for a fourth time tomorrow?
I don't think they'll be open early enough.
Oh well. Yep. If you're at Capitol Reef, you gotta go to the pie shop. Well, you can probably tell that it's been a while since I recorded that last clip, but we wanted to be sure we had an opportunity to tell you how much we really enjoyed visiting Monument Valley and then also Capitol Reef National Park. Capitol Reef is not the grandest of the parks in the area, but it is a beautiful, peaceful oasis surrounded by all of that grandeur, where you can rest and relax and enjoy a couple of days, maybe to catch your breath. And of course, there is the pie. We'd like to ask you, if you would, to please click like on our video and subscribe to our channel. It really makes a difference how many people YouTube shows our videos to. And once again, a great reminder that life's a journey. Make every mile count.